Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, the best there is, best there was, and the best there ever will be. And you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
Welcome everyone to the Smack Raw podcast, your one-stop shop for all your wrestling news, recaps, predictions, all the other good stuff. My name is Vince, and today we're joined by series regular, Calavera Comedy, Mr. Benji himself. How's it going, man?
What up, man? Pretty good.
And we have returning guest 2 weeks in a row, Mr. Jay Thunder. How's it going, my man?
What's up, guys? It's good to be back here again.
It's good to have you back, man. It's good to have you because we just have all this great chemistry. We're just a couple of Chicago guys that like to talk wrestling, but we don't want to just talk about wrestling amongst ourselves. We want to talk about wrestling with all of you. So make sure you reach out to the Smack Raw podcast on Twitter at Smack Raw Pod. Make sure you go ahead and tweet us there. You can reach me at STS Vince. You can find Benji at Calavera Comedy. Jay, can you tell people where they can find you again?
You can find me at JThunder2009 on the Instagram. You can find me at JThunder2009 also on Twitter.
There you go. Sounds good. And you can go ahead and subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. Help us reach 100 subscribers. You can find us wherever you consume your podcast. We're probably on there for the most part. We're on the big major ones. But with that being said, let's just jump right into tonight's episode. Guys, before we actually go covering the show beat by beat, I'll take it to each one of you guys and give me what's the one thing that really stood out to you, or like your one quick thing that you can say about the show.
Oh boy! Woo.
Without giving
right.
without spoilers, but what can you say that you enjoyed about?
I'll let Benji go first.
I was the main event, man. Just the main event just took me out of everything, man. That was amazing.
Okay, Jay, in a nutshell, what you think of the show?
For the most part, it was really good. Like, I was surprised about a lot of stuff, but it was still good.
And what's great about it is, like you were mentioning, Benji, the main event highlighted two big guys. And for those of you that didn't listen last week, for whatever reason, I don't know what's going on with you guys if you're not listening to our Smack Raw podcast weekly, but Jay Thunder is actually a local indie wrestler here in Chicago. He's a big man himself, so it's really cool to have him on the podcast today because he's going to be able to give us his own insight and like idea of what he thought about the match. But we'll cover that more when we get to the match itself. As you can probably see on the YouTube version, we're going to be talking about the match that opened the show, which is Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. Benji, you want to start us off here?
Sure, man. So I'm gonna preface this by saying that sometimes when you talk that good talk. When you talk shit, you got to be able to back it up. And unfortunately, there's a lot of Rhea Ripley stands out there on the Twitterverse and all that stuff. And Unfortunately, your boy was talking that good talk in favor of Bianca Belair. And unfortunately, we're gonna see what went down in this match. And Rhea Ripley, just from entrance alone, man, just the aesthetic, just the way she breaks. Just when that song hits, man, she just completely reinvented herself, man, and just owns that stage. And then you get the same thing with Bianca Belair, another one who has all the promise in the world, and then just found who she is. You know what I mean? Especially with her character, who she wants to be. And once you combine those two elements together, man, as we saw in this match, maybe the result wasn't what everybody would have liked, but I think they had some good chemistry in this match, and they really shown, like, for example, you have they're pretty, I guess, what, I don't know, green is the word. They don't have that much long and being in wrestling. I think Rhea Ripley has.
They're not savvy veterans. They're
right. I think Rhea Ripley has a few, like 6 years in wrestling, and then Bianca Belair has 3. But just the youth, the energy, the excitement of that match was a good thing. You've seen the athleticism of Bianca Belair. Then it was they were two powerhouses essentially in this match.
It felt like two equals going toe to toe.
Right.
It really took some outside interference for things to sway in one specific direction. So obviously, like, there was a lot going on in this match. Both women are incredible athletes, but it was Io Shirai that came out of nowhere and was distracting Rhea Ripley, and was enough for Bianca Belair to capitalize and try to like pick up the win on Rhea, but that wasn't enough to go ahead and get the win on Rhea. Because like what was cool is that she came in, like Rhea I guess wasn't like paying attention. She like nobody knew she was coming. Like freaking Io came out of nowhere and just did kind of like a 619 baseball slide on like the bottom, like on the apron, and that's how she got in. That's how she interfered in the match. She got back up on the apron, Io did, and was trying to distract the ref, trying to distract Rhea Ripley, and Candice LeRae comes out and just kind of like even ups the odds. That's enough for Rhea to come in there and pick up the win. We didn't cover this initially when we talked about the match, but this is a number one contenders match. So Rhea Ripley is indeed going to be the number one contender for Shayna Baszler's Women's Championship. Whether that happens at War Games next month or in a couple of weeks, we'll find out. But the one thing that stood out to me here is that it does look like Io Shirai and Candice LeRae isn't over yet. Considering what happened, even though I thought they were going to be probably done because they haven't done anything with them. Jay, did you get a chance to catch this match, or what you think of this?
I watched that match, and I was really excuse me, because voice is kind of messed up. But when I watched that match, I was pretty impressed. Like that was the first time that I had saw Rhea Ripley, wrestle. Mm-hmm. In a match. That was my first time. I've seen Bianca Belair. I know what she can do. I knew what she could do, and I knew, the potential she had. And I was expecting Bianca Belair to. I was expecting.
Yes, of course.
Her to
she
win.
should have won. I'm saying, man.
Okay.
I was expecting her to win.
So.
And I guess my thing is that the match was great, and even with the interferences, the near fall. Everything in general, like I like the match. It's just, I guess it's just that thing where like I feel like they're overlooking talent, because I feel like Bianca Belair like has proven that she's been up against Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
And yet she did lose.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a really good match.
So,
but the good thing about it is that I can't wait to see what Rhea Ripley's gonna do.
Yeah,
with,
okay.
Going up against Shayna Baszler.
So here's the thing. Unlike you guys, I was sure as hell that this match was going to be a non-finish, because Rio did call out Shayna first, and the following week Bianca did so, and then the week after that Io did so, and then that was last week, and then Rhea came out and said, no, I got Shayna. So they had like a little like interaction with each other, and I figured that Io was going to come in and like just make this a no contest and have a non-winner, and it'd be like a fatal four-way for the women's title with Bianca, Io, and Rhea. But obviously they're moving in a different direction. The reason why I felt like Rhea should have won here, and I disagree with you here, Jay, even though you feel how you feel. I personally, and I agree with you with Bianca. I think she's a tremendous talent, and I think she's capable to be a women's champion. But we've already seen that matchup with Shayna, and she's lost. She's actually, I think, submitted or like taken the pin to Shayna specifically in the triple threat match or a fatal four-way match, and her singles match as well. We saw her face gals like Mia Yim, but we haven't seen Shayna Baszler face someone like Rhea Ripley. And since Rhea Ripley came to NXT from NXT UK, she's been like kind of positioned in a way where she's a legit threat to Shayna Baszler, where Shayna Baszler is actually like kind of like steering away and steering clear of Rhea Ripley, because that's a legitimate threat, and someone that can legitimately take that title. I don't know if the title match is going to happen at War Games here in Chicago, or if it's going to happen in a couple weeks on NXT TV, because as you see, like every week they have at least one really good match that's takeover worthy.
Which is true. I get you. Like, yeah. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
No.
Like, I definitely understand where you're coming from with Rhea Ripley. Like I said, I still think that I'm super excited. I definitely want to see what it's gonna be between Rhea and Shayna Baszler.
I'm kind of curious to see what happens here with Bianca, because it doesn't look like she has a feud going forward or a program going forward, and I don't like that. Maybe she gets incorporated somehow into this triple threat match, or maybe she's next in line. I don't know what they're gonna do. But I do like that there's like a bunch of like possibilities in a rotating door and a rotating cast of people and matchups that we haven't seen. Which leads us into like the following segment, which was Matt Riddle versus Cameron Grimes. So we come into this match, and it's Matt Riddle, Cameron Grimes, a matchup that we haven't seen, but I'm sure that they've faced each other in AEW or Evolve or some other indie promotion or Pro Wrestling Guerrilla somewhere. They face each other somewhere because these guys had great chemistry, and you could tell that they've wrestled before. I feel like this is like a match they probably put together like at some other show.
No, I was definitely thinking that, because when I watched the match, it was everything was like really fluent and it was really smooth.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably one of the matches of the. I wouldn't say it's the. Well, yeah, I could say it was the match of the night under the main event,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely have to say that it was definitely a good match. You guys know how I feel about Matt Riddle, but
Yes.
you know,
It's very well.
he did his thing. He did his thing. So I have nothing bad to say about Matt Riddle this go round.
Gotcha. One cool thing.
No, I look at that. Like, I was watching this match, and I thought it was gonna be one of those matches. Like, okay, Matt Riddle's gonna go over. He's gonna be quick and done. But you know, it surprised me. I think after the first 5 minutes, it just started.
That's what I was saying. I thought it was gonna be one of those matches. I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be one of those matches.
Because they both started off, I think Cameron Grimes tried to do his diving moon stomp and missed, and then Matt Riddle tried to hit him with the final flash knee strike, and they both missed. And it was like one of those moments, kind of like where you're like, oh, whoa, we almost both like lost here. Whoa, we're pretty even matched, and like you could tell from the get go that it was going to be a barn burner. Like, I don't know. Like, I thought it was cool. I think like a little wrinkle to it that I really enjoyed was the fact that this Full Sail crowd started chanting Riddle, but in the way they chant Goldberg, so it was Riddle,
Oh, nice.
Riddle, Riddle.
Yeah, I noticed that. I thought it was. I knew it was kind of like it was Goldberg related, because you know they've been doing this whole thing with, you know, Riddle and Goldberg, and I was like, what do
He
we
hit a
have
jackhammer.
here?
Fucking Matt Riddle hit a jackhammer in the match. Obviously, Cameron Grimes kicked out, but man, like he hit a jackhammer.
That's a sign of disrespect right there.
Oh, it's so disrespectful. Like, as a pro wrestler yourself, you know that it's just like common knowledge. You don't like bury or like.
Oh, trust me. So I'll let you guys in on a little story time.
Spill the tea.
Little story time.
Go ahead.
So I was in practice yesterday. So
This is
just to let you guys know,
Uh-huh.
my finisher is the spear.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my finisher. I do the spear, and I do the Samoan driver.
Okay. Nice.
So we had mock matches yesterday, and one of my classmates, knowing that I do the spear, decides, hey, I'm gonna do the spear to finish off my opponent. So I'm the last match.
Oh.
He does the spear, so I can't do that spear in my match, because like it'd be like copying. It'd be like saying the same thing. It's like saying like how you see Finn Balor match and Seth Rollins at the same time, because they're both gonna do the sling blade.
Yeah, I get you.
So
But the difference
So
there
I
is
had to
the
sit
swing
here.
blade is-
Yeah, but like I said, it's like a sign of dis. Whenever you do someone else's finisher, it's like a sign of disrespect. And granted, I know the guy, so it was like he was like, you know, jokingly doing it. He was like, yeah, he did it out of nowhere. He didn't say he was gonna do it. He just did it out of nowhere. I was like, when he did it, the look on my face was like, well, what am I gonna do now? So,
Oh my gosh, dude. So what did you end up doing?
I wound up the end of the match literally went with literally a ripcord clothesline. He ducks, and then he goes in. I lift him up for the Samoan driver.
Oh, okay. So it's a good thing to have two finishers in this in this
Yes.
case. How
And
big-
in this industry,
yeah.
yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. In this industry, like it's better to have two than a one. But
I mean,
hey, it happens.
in this era of wrestling, it seems like moves that should be finishers are just transitional moves, because like, especially you made this point last week on Matt Riddle. He hits a floating bro. Like, they're over here hitting a bunch of sequences. It literally looked like out of a damn video game, out of like the old school WWE 2K games, like the good ones before like it went to crap this year. And
before 2K got a hold of it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
I get you. I get you.
and THQ and Ukes were working it.
Yeah.
The freaking
Oh God, I miss Ukes.
Oh,
I miss Ukes so bad.
So my goodness. Don't even get me reminiscing, Jay. It's just gonna get me. In
Anyway, let's get back to this.
Speaking of the match, yes. So like that float over, kind of like Spanish Fly thing that Cameron Grimes hits. He gets a 2 count. After that, like Matt Riddle like takes control. He hits a power bomb. He hits his final flash knee strike again. I love when wrestlers use reference to like animes or cartoons that I used to watch back in the day. Freaking love it. So he hits the final flash knee strike, and then he hits his like tombstone driver thing. That I think I heard Morrow called it the Bo Derek or something. And
the bro. It's
Bro
the bro Derek. Yeah.
So the bro Derek. So he hits that for the win. Honestly, like just great match. Like I said, it's felt like they've had that match before, like they've wrestled before.
So did anyone notice that kind of looks like the move that Cesaro does?
I was about to say that. It's the exact same move, man. The gotch, a variation of the gotch pouch.
So it's so it's basically the same thing, but like the opponent is reversed. Like so, like,
I guess if you want to get technical, Cesaro has it more in the like in a pile driver stance, but I mean it's essentially the same
but he
thing.
falls forward with the opponent.
I mean, because it literally looks like, that's what I'm saying. He still falls forward.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that move, the Bro Derek and the Styles Clash.
Oh yes, dude, like I didn't even catch that. I didn't catch the Cesaro comparison, like the Gotch neutralizer comparison, and that never clicked. All I was thinking was like, man, these guys are having a hard hitting match, and I was still freaking like loving the fact that they were doing the whole Riddle chants like Goldberg. After the match, they did the Riddle chants again, and then Matt Riddle like looks at the camera, like winks at it, is like, "What's up, bro?" Almost like he knows what he's doing over there, and he knows what he did. He's like he's over there almost like taunting Goldberg, hoping that he's
we all expect that Goldberg will be at Crown Jewel.
Oh, man.
Matt Riddle.
Man. If Matt Riddle does,
don't be surprised if Goldberg comes to Crown Jewel.
Man, last time Goldberg was at Crown Jewel, he got dropped on his head. And I don't want to see Goldberg. But after the match,
he's got one more match in him.
All these wrestlers say that. The only person that stayed true to that promise is Stone Cold. If you really want to go into it, but after the match, Matt Riddle does his usual bro shtick, and he's just over there dapping and giving fist bumps to the crowd. And in the crowd is Tyler Bate. He fist bumps Tyler Bate. He's over there like celebrating. And Cameron Grimes sees that. He's over here like, yo man, what the hell? You know, why are you over here celebrating that I lost? And he goes and shoves Tyler Bate. He goes and grabs his freaking ridiculous hat of his, puts it on, and then Tyler Bate does his signature like what do you know the name of it, Benji?
The Bip and Bop.
The Bip and Bop. So yeah, he goes ahead and just socks Cameron Grimes and knocks him out. That was a setup for a match that's gonna happen next week. So again, like Cameron Grimes, and the one thing that I did want to notice is that commentary did mention that he went all the way to the finals in the breakout tournament. He lost in the finals, but since the finals, he had 4 straight wins. So he was on a winning streak until he lost to Matt Riddle. And then now he's going into a program with Tyler Bate. So they're building up stars too. So, you know, for those that are saying that wins and losses don't matter, I mean, they kind of matter here in NXT. They're kind of they're trying to incorporate that. I don't know if it's the AEW's feel to things, or if it's just them in general wanting to go ahead and like do and have stories progress through wins and losses, but it's there. It's a thing in NXT as well, and I don't know. Like I just like that. Here's another matchup that I think I wasn't gonna get: Cameron Grimes and Tyler Bate next week on NXT TV, and we already saw Io versus Candice LeRae get into it, and that set up another match for next week. Next week is looking like a pretty good episode too.
It's gonna be wild, I tell you.
Speaking of wild, man, Breezango are over here wilding out over here in NXT because
speaking of that,
because Breezango was supposed to team up with Kushida to take on the Forgotten Sons, but Kushida obviously has the injury from that he suffered from the match with Walter. They had a surprise opponent. We didn't know who it was, but before we even knew who their opponent was going to be, they came out and had like this like pilot
wild like Top Gun aviator thing going.
Yeah, it was just a very interesting.
Dude, that was awesome. That entrance was awesome. I'm telling you this right now. I have never been a fan of Breezango, but once they did the fashion police thing and everything like that, that was pure entertainment. And I was like, wow, like it shows how far you can go. Like if you work your butt off, like you can accomplish so much, because they were at the bottom. Breeze and Fandango, they were like bottom, and now they're doing their thing in NXT. And
for sure,
that's really cool.
And like you were saying, like the whole fashion police stuff, like they, with those segments, they were getting themselves over. And on main roster, like this is something that me and Benji were talking about in our other podcast that we were doing. That like there's been a couple of times they've been underutilized and haven't been used how they should be. They got themselves over using those fashion police vignettes. They very similarly to like Los Guerreros when they were doing their light sheet and steel stuff. It was like a running gag episodic series on SmackDown, and it was really good. And they got over, but they only went so far. They were kind of treated almost like as a comedy act and weren't taken too seriously in the ring, which is completely different from NXT. Yes, they're doing like their whole like ridiculous entrance that they're doing, which, by the way, I'm kind of convinced that their new gimmick is Chippendale dancers or they're strippers, because before that they were like, they came out with like the worker, like the construction vest and the yellow hard hat, and then today they came out dressed like as pilots. They're gonna come out as like, and they're already dressed as cops. Watch, they're gonna come out as like firefighters next week or something.
Well, I mean, I think this is the thing for them right now. The pilot thing is probably the things that they're gonna stick with for the time being.
Nah, dude, like legit, like their last match they had, they came out looking like construction workers, and today they came out looking like fucking pilots. They're legit gonna come out with every freaking profession. I'm convinced.
If they do that, like I'd say, you know what? Put those guys back on the main roster. What are you doing?
Nah.
Give them a shot, bro. Give them tag team gold. Like something. Do something with them.
Dude, I'm totally convinced they're strippers now in NXT. They've somehow like went into like they hanged out with Damian Priest at like a dark nightclub and decided, you know what, we're gonna be strippers.
No, they hang out with him in a brothel. That's what they do.
Oh man, but the difference though in NXT that I am realizing is that they do that. They have that kind of like Breezango fashion police type entrance, but when they're in the ring, they're treated as equals and legitimate threats to beat you, both Fandango and Tyler Breeze. And also their tag team partner, because they had a mystery partner, and they had Isaiah Swerve Scott. For those of you may not know, Shane Strickland in your local indie promotion. Man, such a great, phenomenal talent. Dude, that guy is so good.
He's amazing. They changed his theme a little bit with, I wasn't too fond on. Like, he used to have a theme. It was very, what would you say, Lupe Fiasco, Jake, when he was coming in. The song they gave him out was a little bit more upbeat. It sounded more like a theme that they had just on the ready for like a on. It's very much more like upbeat, more danceable. Like I don't know, it was a little weird, and then you had like the vocals, like Swerve or Swerve's house. Like it was. I don't know, man. I wasn't feeling it.
I actually didn't even pay attention to the music because I was more paying attention to his freaking facial hair. He like shaved his mustache off or whatever. He just had like the little like goatee on the bottom. Like that completely threw me off because he came out. It was Isaiah Swerve Scott, and I'm over here like, is that really him, or did they just like fire him and then like give him like the Sin Cara treatment and replace him with some other guy? Because I didn't recognize him at first. I legit thought it was some other guy. Like he just shaved and looked completely different. But he teamed up with the Fashion Police, Breezango, to take on the Forgotten Sons in what was a pretty solid tag team match. I thought it was really cool. What you guys thought?
Again, just very much like the Riddle match. Like it was one of those matches where I thought, oh, it's gonna be all right, whatever. Then I don't know what it is about tonight, but they just picked up another gear. At least to me, in my experience, they picked up another gear, and Swerve especially being basically a replacement for Kushida, who I believe broke his wrist.
Yeah.
And so for him to fill up that spot, man, and like you said, Fandango and Breeze, they're being treated as equals as everything. And you know what? If anything, if it's a testament to this match, I cannot stand the Forgotten Sons.
Oh,
And
I hate them. I hate them with passion, dude.
After the last takeover and then this match, I'm like, you know what? They're not that bad. It was a little, to me, it was a little weird that they were wearing the red tights, and then you had Riker. Just, I don't know, it just didn't match. Even the color scheme, I don't know. I just look into that kind of thing. But I don't know, man. Like the stuff they were doing, the whole match, the way it was all set up and everything, man. It took me by surprise. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, in my opinion.
So I'm not trying to compare them to that team, but I'm just saying they remind me in terms of how my enthusiasm was for them. So back in NXT when they first formed together, the Revival I did not care for. I did not care for them. I didn't care about Scott Dawson, or because initially they came out and they were kind of like trucker guys. Initially, that's how they were coming out, and then slowly but surely they were like losing some of that like weird gimmicky thing, and it was just they were like old school wrestlers, and they became really really good. And that's kind of what's happening here with Forgotten Sons, because for the longest, like, I don't care about them, but in this match they did some great things. Like, I forgot who it was. I think it was either Wesley Blake or Steve Cutler that hit a Hurricane Rana on Swerve Scott, and then the other two hit a double diving headbutt. Like, I've never seen them like go to the to the top
that
rope.
was. Do y'all remember the movie? What was it? I think it's Ready to Rumble, the WCW one.
Oh my gosh! Don't bring that up.
Yo, they had dude in the middle, just like that movie, and they all started jumping on him from the corners. That's just straight what it reminded me of.
Oh my gosh. Nah, dude, like the Forgotten Sons, like I'm still not gonna be hyped for Forgotten Sons match. They have to really like work to like get me invested. But they did some really cool stuff in here, dude. Like recently they've been having some solid matches in NXT. I still, like I said, I will not go out of my way to go see the Forgotten Sons match, but if it's on TV, I know they can deliver. I know they're pretty good.
All right. Let me get my part in. Number one, don't want anyone talk about Ready to Rumble. That movie was amazing. That movie was amazing. I don't know who you guys are. That movie was awesome. I've seen that movie millions of times.
Wait, do you remember when they jumped on King, like from all the corner turnbuckles?
It was Perry Saturn, Disco Inferno.
Was it Rey Mysterio thing too?
Bam. No, it was. No, I could tell you all four of them.
Yeah.
It was Bam Bam Bigelow. It was Perry Saturn. It was Disco Inferno. And I don't know who that last person was, but I know for a fact that I remember that, and it was nasty. Yeah. Oh no, it was Juventud Guerrera. There we go.
Yes.
It was Juvi. There we go.
That's what it reminded me of when they were jumping on them.
Oh no, that part of the match was like freaking awesome. I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Oh, second thing, I could totally give a crap about the Revival. I don't.
Oh,
I don't care.
Whoa!
I don't care for the Revival
take.
at all.
Hot take some thunder over here.
Sorry, I could care less about the Revival. I do like I like their in-ring skill, but they're full of crap.
Okay.
Like seriously.
All right. Let's Let's make this and then keep this an NXT recap and not make this a Ready to Rumble recap podcast. Let's
Okay, all right. Well, wait, hold on. Let me. All right. Let me finish. Let me finish though with the match though. To be quite honest with you, it was a lot of good tag team work. Like I enjoyed every moment of that match. Like, I love the fact that Swerve did the thing with the moonsault where he stepped on him and he moved stepped on one of the guys from the Forgotten Son,
Riker.
and he literally did the moon. I think it was Riker, and he did the moonsault, and that part to me was like amazing. So
I think
like,
my favorite part was when they hit your favorite move of all time, Jay, when Breezango hit the double super kick and didn't get the win. I know how you feel about super kicks right now. Like you feel like that should be like a finish. Like that should end
well, I mean, I'm actually happy that was a finish instead of it being like how the Young Bucks use it all the freaking time.
Well, it wasn't actually the finish, so it didn't end the match. It was broken. It could have ended the match. So the way that they made it, they structured it, was that it could have been the finish, but it was broken up by the rest of the members of the Forgotten Sons. Then I don't remember how they got into the situation, but I mean,
that's my thing. They didn't transition into another move with that super kick.
Yeah, okay.
They did the super kick, pinned them, and then it was a kick out.
Okay,
that's what I like about super kicks.
Okay, so
like,
that's your gripe. It's not that they use it as like a non-finisher. Is that they use it as a transitional move when it could be a finisher.
Yes, that's my thing.
Okay. Gotcha. But going to the finish of this match, like I said, I don't quite remember how we got into the situation, but Isaiah Swerve Scott hit like this really cool like running like back kick and Seguri type thing and got the win for the team. Like you were saying, Jay, great tag team wrestling. I really liked it. Isaiah Swerve Scott looks like a star in the making, future NXT champion a year from now, or like a couple months down the line, depending on how they book him.
Oh yeah.
He's a real.
I think we're. I think before. I was literally confused. I was like, who is this guy? And then I was like, oh, okay. And then when the match was over with, I was like, I gotta look out for this guy.
Yeah, dude.
But I definitely gotta. The thing about it is, I feel like I have to, I have to start like, because I used to watch NXT a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started wrestling,
mm-hmm.
and when you are in that wrestling life, like you don't always get a chance to watch the product,
right?
Like, so yeah, I see a lot of potential.
I really like him. I think he has a lot of charisma. He's very talented in the ring, and someone else who I think is very talented and has a lot of charisma is Leo Rush. Shortly afterwards, he came out.
I knew we were gonna get to this. Because of Leo Rush, but not only because of Leo Rush, but because of someone else that Vince likes very much.
Oh, you already
waiting.
know. You already. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just doing my standard hosting duties and trying to transition the show. But you know where I'm going.
But I know where you're going with this. I already know where you're going with this.
I'm salivating at the lips. So.
Oh man.
Okay. So
let's hear it.
Okay. Leo Rush comes out. He does his full entrance for the NXT crowd. Before we go into commercial, they let us know that he's going to be on commentary. Go to commercial. But the real highlight here was shortly after my guy, Angel Garza, came out. I was not expecting him to be on the show, so I popped hard when he came out. I was like, oh shit, Angel Garza. So he came out, and they actually said it was cruiserweight action. So they are going to have cruiserweights on NXT. That's what's going to be the plan going forward. They still are doing 205 Live. I don't know if they're going to get rid of the show going like down the line or what it is, but for now they're having the cruiserweights jump between 205 Live and NXT. So Angel Garza fully incorporated into the cruiserweight division, and a cruiserweight staple is Jack Gallagher. That was completely a surprise to me. I did not see him coming. Dude, like, both of these guys are great, man. Like, they both have like unique character. They played off of those characters well with each other.
They did.
Yeah, they were. was so cool. So like obviously if you watch any Angel Garza match, you know he comes out with his fucking pants and he has the tearaway pants, and that's his whole shtick. Like midway through a match, he's like, boom, takes it off. And what I love, and I don't know if you guys catch this or not, I love that Beth Phoenix has kind of turned into like this fangirl for like the very attractive male wrestlers, which I freaking love, because like Breezango came out and she's over here like gassing them up. Angel Garza comes out and she's like, well, it's not his fault, he just has wardrobe malfunctions. Like I think it's hilarious that she's like really enjoying her in-ring competition match, and I can't blame her, man. Like Angel Garza, like he's a great character. I think in ring wise he's an incredible athlete, and
yeah, the physique alone.
Yeah, shit, we haven't even started talking about the physique, man. But shit, I'm just talking about the.
Oh wait, hold on, chill. Don't have an orgasm, man. I don't want an orgasm on the podcast, man. Come on now.
No,
come on, chill.
We're not that
chill.
Kind of podcast. We're not that kind of. I'm just saying. In general, I'm a big fan of Angel Garza. I think the guy is great. He's a future star.
Okay, I get you, man. He no, don't get me wrong. I'll let you finish, but then I'm gonna tell you what I don't like.
Okay. So obviously, like what I do like is this whole like tearaway pants thing. I thought I think that's a great gimmick that I don't see too many people use. Like it's a unique thing to him, to his matches, because you can hear the girls eat it up in the crowd the minute his pants go off, even though it's just regular ring gear. It's nothing different than what any wrestler wears. But
his ring gear is a little tight, bro.
Still. All I'm saying is that it's just regular trunks. But the fact that
come on, man, let's be honest. Extra tight trunks, man.
Oh man, I'm having too much fun with this.
regardless, it's that Rick Rude thing where like the guys hate him and they want to beat him,
but the ladies love him.
He goes up to the women in the crowd as he's going down the ramp, and he puts his cheek to them and tells them to kiss him, and they all go up to him. I'm starting to see a freaking cult following on Twitter for Angel Garza, and I'm part of it, man. I'm part of the revolution.
You're leading it. What are you talking about?
For you. All right. So now that we've gotten to the good part about Mr.
Angel Garza.
Now I'm gonna get to the bad part about it.
Okay.
To be quite honest, actually, you know what? I don't really have too many bad things to say about him. He's actually a really good wrestler. I like his physique. He's very athletic. However, I will say that finisher is not all that great.
No, I don't even
think
moonsault.
That moonsault was kind of hot garbage. He missed. First of all, he did miss. He missed the mark. He almost crushed Jack Gallagher. He almost crushed him. He almost crushed him in the neck. So, but other than that, he's really good. He's got the looks. I do love the tearaway pants. That's a nice little gimmick. A nice little gimmick to deal with. But like something, it's like you gotta get another finisher going, man, or another signature. Because
the thing though,
how many times am I gonna see another moonsault? Or another high flying move? Like if we're gonna do another high flying move, you gotta get me with something. Like Pac has the red arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Hardy has a swanton. Like the only person that I know that can do a pretty good moonsault is Lita. So, and then and Kurt Angle has a very good moonsault, and Charlotte does too. So
Io Shirai, best.
And let's not forget about
best moonsault.
That's true.
Io Shirai. No, so
That's
here's the thing. That springboard moonsault, I don't think I've seen him use it as a finisher too often. He was using something else during the breakout tournament during NXT. He was using something different. So
it was more like a butterfly suplex, driver type thing.
Yeah, it was like a
which
butterfly
is a lot
suplex
better
driver.
So
I did not expect that to be the finish. So you're completely right. It didn't look like a clean landing, obviously, and it's not a good finish. It's more of one of those like transitional moves that you go ahead and try to get the 1-2, get a near fall, but it doesn't get the full job done. It was one of those.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So yeah, you're totally right. I don't think it's a good finisher going forward. But he's gonna stumble into something. I think even like Andrade Almas, when he was in NXT, he had to like, it was a couple matches until he stumbled into the hammerlock DDT as a finisher, and I think Angel's gonna get there. He's still pretty young. I think the guy's like maybe like 23, 24, 25. He's in his early to mid 20s. He's still pretty young. He's a great in-ring technician. He has the character. He has that kind of like Latino heat, Eddie Guerrero vibe.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I'm just saying.
It's getting up there. It's getting up there. You having that moment. It's like, oh man, I gotta talk more about him. Like, I gotta hype this man up.
I'm just saying he does the whole like take my hand type of thing, which Eddie used to do. It's just like what in Lucha Libre it's called a rudo. He's like a classic rudo, like where he's just, and that's just a heel, like in Lucha Libre. He's just embodies it perfectly. And then in Lucha Libre, what most people don't realize, they don't see it because they just see a bunch of luchadors with masks on. But there's a lot of character there, even with masks. And like a lot of these guys, is what they don't realize is that there's a lot of character behind all that, and it translates to WWE. That's why guys like Eddie Guerrero got over. That's why Andrade Almas is so good. That's why guys like Humberto Carrillo is getting over just on his dimples alone, man. Like, and then Angel Garza.
Oh my god.
And then you got Lucha House Party. They're really fun. And then Rey Mysterio is the GOAT, you know. So, yeah.
First of all, Rey Mysterio is always the GOAT. Let's get that straight.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
Always the GOAT. That man will always. I have been watching him ever since WCW, and there's nobody that can tell me otherwise.
Okay, so going back to this match, though, unless is something you want to add to this match, Benji? Before
I like the contrasting styles of. I always like the contrasting styles of Lucha Libre. Then you have like the British technical style. You know, that was always intrigued me. And Jack Gallagher, if anything, is very underrated, I think, as far as what he's done.
Very
here,
underrated.
right? Just his technique alone, man. He was doing some.
I wish he would have came with the umbrella. That would have been nice.
Right. But like they made an emphasis on focusing on his snake pick training and being more technical and stuff, and you saw that in this match, like the transitional submissions he was hitting, the grappling work he was doing with them. Like I'm always a sucker for that. I always enjoy that, and you know, like with the cruiserweights now being at NXT, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I would like to see the title instead of being purple. Why don't you just make it black and gold? You know.
Speaking of the title, it looks like we might be having a title program between the winner of the match, Angel Garza, and Leo Rush, because he was on commentary. He was actually putting over Angel Garza, saying that he was a phenomenal athlete. He was taking mental notes. And after the match, Angel Garza did the whole pose for the title, and then it looks like they're setting up Rush versus Garza.
Even as a side note, when Garza got his pants ripped, Leo Rush was over here laughing his ass off on commentary.
I think he didn't know about the gimmick. I think he legit didn't know.
This was his first time seeing Angel Garza the whole time, so he was he was enjoying himself.
I mean, because I think it's the thing about it. I think the thing is that I think it was the same way with Jack Gallagher as well, because like he seemed like he was like literally like just kind of like scouting him. Like it literally, if he was really, he looked like he seemed like he had never been in the ring with. So,
which I don't think he has been with either one of them.
I don't think he.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
But my question is, and this is what for both of you guys, what I'm thinking. Well, not even that. It's like, so if that were to happen, who would be the heel?
Oh, so that's actually perfect, because I was actually going to talk about that. Is that obviously Angel Garza is the pure heel here, and ever since his return, they kind of been like positioning Leo Rush as more of a baby face, kind of like in the Ricochet mold, where like even on commentary he wasn't being arrogant or cocky. He wasn't the 23-year-old piece of gold. He wasn't the man of the hour. He was more of a humble Leo Rush. I've never seen a babyface Leo Rush, because ever since his debut in NXT and then quick transition to 205 Live and then going to being manager for Bobby Lashley, he's always been a heel for the most part. He's always been cocky and arrogant, and it was more of I'm a humble champion, kind of like I said, like in the Ricochet mold, in the Seth Rollins mold, and it looks like he's gonna be the babyface, and that's an interesting dynamic with Leo because obviously he's a great heel, but I'm interested to see what he can do as a babyface.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was trying to figure that out for the match because I was trying to see whether or not how that was with.
Sorry, don't mean to cut you
off.
But
who's that in?
What if that match is? What if that match happens at War Games? What if we get Leo Rush versus Angel Garza?
Ooh. Yo, give it to me now. Yes, do it.
As SpongeBob would say, I need
it. If that's the case, War Games is gonna be wild.
War Games. Oh
I mean, I already know it's gonna be. I was like, I already know it's gonna be wild, but I'm just saying, as in, I just have so much. Like that's like too much to handle.
Yeah,
like,
there's gonna be a lot of great wrestling on
wait,
that card.
So Vince, you're gonna be there, right?
Oh, you know it.
Of course he is.
Oh,
okay, so
of course he is.
If Angel Garza has a match, you know I'm gonna have an Angel Garza sign up in there. You know I'm gonna rep that.
100%.
He's gonna have an orgasm.
I'm saying we're gonna need a cleanup crew over here.
Stop it. I can be
like he won't even.
I have
self
control. Damn it.
As a matter of fact, he won't even be able to do this episode. He won't even be able to do that episode. So.
Oh man! But speaking of wild, what's wild is that the women's tag team titles are actually going to be defended on NXT, not just on main roster Raw and SmackDown. But we had Team Fly Kicks, Tegan Nox, and Dakota Kai taking out 2 of the MMA horsewomen. Number 1 contenders match for the women's tag team titles, and the winner will face the Kabuki Warriors next week.
Can I ask a question? I'm gonna ask Jay this. What are your thoughts on Marina Shafir and Jessamine Dukes, just their wrestling in general?
Do you really want my answer?
Yes, because yes, please. People need.
All right, so. I guess you really want me to say it? Like, do you really want me to say it?
Does it need to be said?
Does it really need to be said, bro? Just
a quick like summarize in under a sentence.
Okay, so just by me seeing the match. It was okay. It was cool, but again, they just remind me of Matt Riddle, and they're.
I feel like we can make a whole podcast
trying
about how
so
you feel
hard
about.
To be correct over here.
Okay. Let's move forward. So let's not even talk too much about this match because it was one of those. It was a pretty quick match. And not only
that, we knew who was gonna win. So
honestly, maybe that was just me being foolish or just being pessimistic. I legitimately thought it could have gone either way, especially since Shayna Baszler came out to accompany them. I figured maybe Shayna was going to come and interfere or distract.
Well, here's the thing, though. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing about that, Vince, though, because I think she came out and then she left.
Yeah, she did.
Because I sure didn't see her after when the match started. No. So
that was my whole thing. I figured that maybe Shayna was going to come back out. I don't know, the one complaint I had from last week's episode was there was too many of those matches where it was clear as day who the winner was going to be. This was obviously if you sit down and actually pay attention, it was obviously going to be the team Kick that was going to win, Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox, which was the result. The horsewoman did get some offense early on, but Tegan picked up the win with the shiniest wizard. Her and Dakota Kai are going to get a chance to face the Kabuki Warriors next week on NXT.
Her and those damn choke slams.
Okay, I know how you feel about those. Okay, here's the thing. I think for her, I let it slide because she legit has stated that her favorite wrestler of all time is Kane, and it's more, and it's more of a.
Yeah, but here's my thing though. Did you see how bad those choke slams were?
Okay, But here's the thing: her choke slams aren't meant to be like a finisher choke slam. They're more like a choke slam that you use as a move, kind of like.
Oh yeah, that's
So,
cool. That's cool, but did you see how bad the choke slams were? Because
I might just
still,
go ahead and blame
like,
that on the horsewomen and not Tegan. Tegan is fantastic.
because you know what, it could be because you know what, they didn't jump.
Yeah,
it was literally just kind of like they kind of like hopped,
right,
and it just made the move look like you just pushed them.
right.
And their defense, I think they have a year or maybe 2 of just wrestling training. It's not a whole lot.
A little under 2 years of actual in-ring competition. So
Okay, well,
you never know. Shayna Baszler is probably one of the best women's wrestlers on NXT right now, and she started from pure MMA and did indie scenes. But the thing about Shayna, she honed her craft in the indies, and she actually.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She got better. She didn't like. It's not stuck. She's still not stuck on MMA. That's why I'm like, you know, I can't say too much about Shayna Baszler because she's actually like perfected it.
Gotcha.
But before you guys move on with this to the next match, I have to say I am in love with the Kabuki Warriors.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Heel Kabuki Warriors are like best Kabuki Warriors.
Dude, they don't need Paige. They really don't. Like the way they're doing it now is
Paige
almost
was holding
perfect.
them back, dude. Paige was holding them back. They couldn't be themselves. They could. So here's the thing that I've always said. I know our co-host here in the Smack Rock podcast, Sebastian, feels differently, and so does Colin. No, it's not Sebastian. It's Colin that feels like that if like you can't be a top draw, like if you can't like actually like have like a promo in full English, which I think is ridiculous. I don't think that's the case. Like obviously you could do like even like AOP is over there having like promos and subtitles. Kabuki Warriors are over here having their promo in Japanese. So one quick note, I tweeted this through the podcast account on Twitter that I loved how Full Sail University had respect for the Kabuki Warriors and didn't want the Kabuki Warriors when they were speaking in Japanese and cutting their promo in Japanese, which is complete contrast from what happened on Raw, where legit anytime they had a chance to what someone, they whatted someone. And main roster in general, which I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get too deep and too emotional about stuff, but I legit hate as like a Latino, as a guy that speaks 2 languages, and a guy that hopes to one day speak Japanese himself. I hate that you what someone when they're speaking a different language. Of course, you don't understand. Don't what that. You're not helping. You're not cool. You're not edgy. You're not being cool by whatting them. That's disrespectful, and it comes off kind of like. I don't even want to say racist because it's not racist, but it
comes off pretty dickish. It really comes off pretty dickish.
Yeah.
Like I one of the things that I love. I think I explained this in the last podcast, but I have nothing but like pure love for Asuka. She is like bae to me.
Mm-hmm.
So like the fact that she was actually able to do something, you know, and actually have an impact on it instead of, you know, it being thrown away and, you know, people just not treating it like it's supposed to. That makes me mad because, you know what, one thing is that the WWE are actually using Asuka for something, and I'm happy for that.
Definitely.
That's perfect.
I mean, personally, so like, look, it's easier for us to say with like Sin Cara or Rey Mysterio or Andrade cut us a promo in Spanish. We understand. We know exactly what they're saying. But here they were cutting the promo in Japanese. I didn't understand a single word they were saying, but I got the gist of what they were saying. They were basically mocking Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. They were looking down on them. They were kind of mocking them, teasing them. Like I saw Kairi Sane like having like an evil laugh to her. She's been like,
I love it. I love every moment of it.
So they haven't
like that. It was that little cute. That like I was so used to that little cute Kairi Sane, and then like it just turned into this evil little girl. Like she's a witch. Like I like it. I enjoy it.
They haven't explained it and they haven't fleshed it out in storyline on main roster. But in my mind, something snapped in Asuka, and Asuka being around Kairi has kind of like poisoned and polluted Kairi's like innocence and mind, and she's turned her into like this evil person.
Yes.
And,
I have to clap for that. That is beautiful. That is
Yes.
like.
and here's the thing.
That is like
Asuka,
that's a good metaphor.
And Asuka, here's the thing. Asuka has kind of went back to her NXT roots because the way she's acting now is how she was acting when she was champion in NXT. And she's doing, and she brought out the green mist. Even Kyrie's cheating, like. But it like I freaking love everything about this. I'm just so excited for next week. Even our one of the co-hosts here, Kyle, one of the OGs, he actually said that he's actually probably gonna like have Sebastian host the AEW podcast because he wants to watch this match and he wants to watch NXT next week. So we're probably gonna have the first jumping of the ship from like our own podcast between the Wednesday Night Wars, and it's just because of Asuka and Kairi Sane taking on Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. I think that's great. Any final thoughts before we move into the main event?
Oh, I absolutely love that they're being able to have that freedom to give their promos in Japanese. Like, I think the other one, like, if you translated what they were saying, you had Kairi essentially say, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Like, things like that they know that no one's going to. Yeah, like, they're getting away with that just because people are not going to actually translate it and stuff like that. So for them to have that kind of, like, freedom in what they're saying, so like I think it's awesome. It's definitely, you could see that they're more comfortable, they're more confident in doing that, you know what I mean? And
they're having fun.
Yeah, and like that shit translates. And then what you said though with the poisoning of the innocence of Kyrie, saying like this is just good storytelling, I think.
And here's the thing, and this is just me fantasy booking here, but they're both on Raw. If we are going to get the 4 horsemen Fatal 4-Way match at WrestleMania, it's not going to be for both titles. So let's just hypothetically assume that that's going to be for the SmackDown Women's title somehow, some way, right? That leaves the Raw Women's title open. They've been teasing Becky and Asuka going into a program. What if Asuka beats Becky for the title leading to Mania? She's champion. She kind of turns on Kyrie, or like Kyrie doesn't is the reason why they lose the women's tag titles, and Asuka turns on Kyrie. Kyrie maybe wins the Rumble or somehow gets a title shot at WrestleMania. WrestleMania this year is pirate theme. Kyrie Sane goes full babyface in a pirate ship, like she comes out in a pirate ship entrance and beats Asuka in like a freaking like 6-month build feud between her and her tag team partner.
Oh my god. That is, but then that still leaves Asuka. I want her to have her WrestleMania moment though. Damn.
It's just the fact that it's pirate. It's just the fact that it's pirate theme at WrestleMania.
Yeah, no.
Like it's pirate.
No. Like that'd be great. That would be awesome. That's like perfect. It's just the fact that you got to realize. I'm thinking so far ahead because you got to realize, guys. Asuka was the first woman to win the Rumble. The women's Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't get that WrestleMania moment. She lost against Charlotte.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that she hasn't even I don't even remember the last time she's had a WrestleMania moment at all.
She's only been at one WrestleMania, I think.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Oh no, she was at the one WrestleMania. She was part of the Battle Royal. Like she was legit SmackDown Women's Champion leading into WrestleMania, and then they had to drop the title to Charlotte this past year's WrestleMania, and she was in the Battle Royal.
That's what I'm saying. It's like.
So yeah,
1 minute I just really hope that they do her some justice at least. Not saying that I don't love Kairi Sane because that freaking elbow is life.
Okay, so
that elbow is amazing.
I think that's enough fantasy booking for this podcast. At least when it comes to this, we can go into it some other time. But we're totally in agreement. Like I think there's
most definitely, man. We could go into this forever,
yeah.
But
yeah. So the one thing that I will say, like the one closing thing that I will say, is that I'm glad that the tag team titles are going to be defended on NXT and are actually being defended on Raw and SmackDown. They're allowed to do that because that's what Sasha and Bayley wanted to do when they initially won the titles. Then they lost the titles to the Iconics, and I love the Iconics, but they weren't given the opportunity to go out there and just like defend the titles. But I like that next week we're going to get a title match. NXT is just rolling out really good matches. Just like tonight's main event. You had Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic. We're just going to call him Dijak for short because we can't pronounce his name.
But we got it. But you just pronounced it. That was the right pronunciation of his last name.
3 guys. They put on a really good match. Roderick Strong was a perfect addition to this little like Dijak versus Lee matches that they've been having. Honestly, I don't think they skipped a beat. I thought from start to finish it was really good. I enjoyed every aspect of it. I thought that Roddy blended well and mixed well chemistry wise with both Lee and Dijak. Dijak obviously had great chemistry with Lee. There was a lot of great like power moves. Like Roderick Strong was obviously like doing a lot of heel stuff, like especially when the match started. Like he just rolled out of the ring and then he was cornered by both Lee and Dijak. A couple times Dijak and Lee actually worked together to try to take Roddy out of the equation and leave it a 1-on-1 match versus each other. And honestly, I just really enjoyed every single second of it. I thought it was going to be ended with Undisputed Era coming out and like breaking up the match and making it a non-finish and the DQ finish, but we actually got a clean finish. Overall, Benji, I'll take it to you real quick and let me know what you liked about this match or what stood out to you, and then we'll close it off with Jay, since he is a big guy and he is a wrestler, and I'd like to see what he has to say about this.
All right, I'll be brief because I want to hear Jay's take on this entire match. The swarmy, like smarky little pest that was Roderick Strong was definitely the perfect foil in this match, and just the stuff they were doing, man. Like I was standing up on watching this. I could not sit down watching this match. I was just hyped the whole way through, man. The stuff they were doing, the Tower of Doom, whatever the hell that was that they were trying to do there. Like I don't know if they were going to try to attempt to walk with that as he's holding him, and I don't know what the hell they were trying to do with that. It was amazing.
Did you catch that Keith Lee almost fell after he
almost, man. Crazy. Like it was just wild. I don't know, man. It was one of those matches like I'm gonna rewatch a few times because I can't even like process the shit that they were doing, man. The dives, the hits, the power bombs, just the whole setup, and like you thought they would quiet down leading into commercial, like after that, and like no, they pick right back up and just start these guys over here moving like it was almost like a 205 live match at a certain point, man. They were just doing
at this point
305 live, right? Like they were just doing all kinds of wild stuff, man. Like I don't know, man. I was just shocked. I was impressed. My jaw was on the floor. I can't. I just want more of this matchup. I just need more of this. I need Keith Lee and Dijak at a takeover. They need a takeover, man. But don't let me just yak your ear off. Let's hear Jay. I want to hear Jay's take. I need Jay's take on this.
Go ahead.
All right, big guy coming through. All right, let's see.
Yes.
All right. So, first of all, this is one word that I can just plancha. Keith Lee and that freaking plancha. Like I was like, I didn't think he was gonna pull it off. I was like, no,
dude, I jumped.
He literally. I literally saw him go to the ropes, and I was like, "Okay, is he just gonna jump? Is he just gonna jump out?" No, complete opposite. Plancha, he flips. What the hell? What the hell was going on? I need to be doing that in the ring. That's what I need to be doing. If he can do it, I know I can do it. So, I will say that I love the stare off between them. After they got rid of Roderick Strong, because it was literally kind of like they were closing that final chapter.
Yeah,
because they rolled back in the Dominic Dijakovic was he literally pointed to the ring, and they literally rolled in the ring, and they literally just started going at it. It was very great storytelling. Now, I love the fact that Roderick Strong did what he did.
What did he do? What did he do? Tell us.
He got him. Because Keith Lee. First of all.
Yeah.
First of all, Dominic Dijakovic. Well, I don't know what the hell that was that he did off of the top rope with Keith Lee. That shit was wild.
Oh, the choke bomb?
That was wild.
Oh, man.
And then Keith Lee hitting the power bomb.
Spirit bomb.
off the top,
Get it
the
right.
spirit bomb. The spirit bomb. Let me get it right because I am an anime fan, so I need to get it right.
For sure.
That spirit bomb off the top rope, and then for Roderick Strong to hit that because I think it was a knee, right? Or was it a
V-trigger almost.
or was it a kick to the face?
No, it was kind of like a Kenny Omega V-trigger almost. He's been kind of doing that recently.
Okay, because it still kind of reminds me of a Claymore, like either way. But I liked how all of that it worked well together. Everybody was perfect. Like that match was great. Like that was by far the best match on the card.
For sure.
If I had to rank it, it'd probably be number one. Like say for instance, if I had to rank all the matches tonight, that would be number one. Matt Riddle and I think that was his name is Cameron
Grimes.
Cameron Himes.
Cameron Grimes.
Yeah. That would be the second match of the night. That match was amazing. The tag team match, pretty good. The six-man tag team match.
Yeah.
I'd probably go for. Actually, you know what? I kind of keep it between for your boy Angel Garza and
put some respect on his name.
Oh, don't get him started.
Chill. That match and the tag team match, they could be fighting for third place.
For sure.
So,
but yeah, like you were saying, I think this was the match of the night, and the finish was great because you for a split second there, you thought that Keith Lee was gonna have the match one with the Spirit Bomb. Freaking slimy little like Roderick Strong comes in there, V-trigger, gets the win. 1, 2, 3. He walks away as champ. Undisputed Era comes out and they're all celebrating. They all hold up the titles. And
guys, but that's not it.
No.
That's
I know.
not it.
I'm leading into it.
Yeah, I was gonna say lead into it because I'm like that ending. I swear.
Oh,
did you guys? First of all, no. I like before you get into it. I just want to know. Did you guys expect that?
No,
never,
not
never,
even
never,
the
never.
slightest. Not even the slightest.
Okay, all right, Vince, go ahead.
Okay.
That's all I need to know.
Okay, so going into that, like all 4 members of the Undisputed Era are in the ring. They're holding up the title. Dijak is out the ring. Keith Lee is still in the ring. Poor Keith Lee. They gang up on Keith Lee and they just beat him down. I felt bad. I don't usually get worked by the Undisputed Era because I appreciate them that they're so cool and they're great heels. But that really pissed me off because I'm such a Keith Lee guy and I'm like, screw you guys, leave him alone, leave the man alone. He's like,
he didn't do anything. Why you messing with my boy Keith Lee?
Exactly, but.
Tito. Oh.
But that wasn't the end of things because I thought the show was gonna end right there. But Tommaso Ciampa's music hit. He comes out, makes his way slowly to the ring. Undisputed Era line up, getting ready for him to come out. And he
oh boy,
he goes up to the ramp slowly and gingerly, and we're like, okay, 4 on 1. Man, how is Tommaso?
In his defense, he had his crutch. He was gonna whack all of them. I'm just saying, it was about to go down.
You're right, Jay, but he still needed some help. And long and behold, his former DIY mates, his former friend Johnny Gargano, he came out, tried to even it up a little bit more. It was 2 on 4. So at this point, we have DIY versus Undisputed Era. We're like, okay, it's still not enough.
Okay.
Still not enough.
We can do this, though. We can do this.
But then the music hits. The man himself, Finn Balor, comes out. And now we have a match. Now we have a matchup. And I'm over here. The minute I saw this, I'm like, War Games. Undisputed Era versus DIY, Finn Balor, and maybe Keith Lee or Matt Riddle or something, right? That's what I thought. Okay, we're about to go. No. Out of freaking nowhere, Finn Balor with a Pele kick knocks out Johnny Gargano. It just stares at him, and Undisputed Era wasted no second, and they just ganged up on Tommaso Ciampa.
Tommaso Ciampa.
Poor Tommaso Ciampa. He came out at 4 on 1. old Nexus mentality, just beat the crap out of him NWO style, and just hit him with the last shot. He was out cold. Freaking Johnny Gargano gets tossed to the outside. Finn Balor hits the running and shotgun drop kick.
The shotgun drop kick, yeah.
Into Johnny Gargano, and he falls down with the barricade into the fans. There were probably indie wrestlers or plants in there, but man, if that was just fans, imagine if you're just that's just straight out of an indie show, right? They're just the wrestlers falling into you, and then after that, you would think that would be over. But no, he wants to inflict a little bit more punishment. He takes Johnny Gargano to the ramp, hits 1916, freaking annihilates him. And Undisputed Era is just watching this unfold. They're like, okay, kind of like that villain in a movie where you're like, this is working to my benefit. I don't know how this is actually gonna it's gonna have consequences on me going forward, but for right now I'm gonna enjoy this because he's this is pretty good to watch. And they're over there at the top of the stage, they're doing the Undisputed Era pose, they're looking at Finn Balor. Finn Balor looks up, and here's the thing: throughout the entire beatdown, Finn Balor has this cold detached look in his face, kind of like Kevin Owens when he would attack Sami Zayn or he would attack somebody, and it was almost like he was mentally checking himself out. It felt like Finn Balor just hit a different gear. And he looked up to them, and for a second there, I'm like, "Oh shit, is Finn Balor gonna join Undisputed Era?" No,
dude, I thought that was gonna happen. I was busted out. No way.
He busted out the Prince Devitt finger guns. He did the whole Bullet Club shtick. Oh my gosh, I freaking loved it. He looked up. Finn Balor's his own man. He did say that he has to his past is gonna be his future. Maybe his past is Prince Devitt. He's gonna have to bring that back. The real rock and roller is gonna be back in NXT. Heel Finn is something we haven't seen in WWE NXT anywhere. We've never seen him heel. And if you guys ever watched his work in New Japan as the leader of Bullet Club, he's the reason why Bullet Club was so mainstreamly popular. He made that a big name. He made that a big deal. And then AJ just took the ball and ran with it. But it was all him,
bro. Play by play, just do you want it for the end of the show in general, or just
the heel turn by Finn Balor? What's your
man? There are words that I can't describe how happy I am for Finn, right? Because dude's been stuck in limbo for years. Especially considering the fact that, he was the first Universal Champion and he got injured and he never lost the title. Mm-hmm. This is something good for him. I really feel like this could be really good for him, especially considering, think about it like this. Breezango's now in NXT, right? Mm-hmm. They were in the main roster. So NXT is doing wonders for Breezango. Finn's here, and he's top talent. He's that man is a legend.
Yeah.
So him being in NXT, exactly. But probably not, because they're still trying to figure out what they're gonna do with the like I said. I said it last podcast. They're all losing the title eventually. I know it.
I think the main thing here is that it was looking like Finn versus Adam Cole was the feud, and it was looking like there was a lot of people coming for Adam Cole. It's a little bit more cleared up now. It's a little bit more obvious where they're gonna go. They're gonna obviously go Tommaso Ciampa versus Adam Cole in Undisputed Era. Johnny Gargano versus Finn is a direction they're gonna go in now. And
which means what's going to wind up happening is that in between that, DIY is going to have a reunion.
Oh my gosh, dude! War Games, Finn and Undisputed Era versus DIY, freaking I don't know, Angel Garza and freaking Matt Riddle and
where did Angel Garza even come from, bro? And what are you talking about?
All right,
okay, I'm
where did you get Angel? Yeah, you are. You really.
So
are.
If y'all putting those guys together, wouldn't it make sense, since they attacked Keith Lee, to throw him in that mix?
Yeah, exactly. I know. I was just I was gonna say Keith Lee, but I'm let me just go ahead and just continue with the Angel Garza fanboy gimmick that I got going on.
bro. Like you might as well like that's your that's your thing now. That's your thing now. Angel
That's
Garza.
it right
Like,
there.
So you know how like in WCW Eddie Guerrero had Chavo Guerrero wear the shirt that said Eddie Guerrero is my favorite wrestler. I'm gonna make a remix of it saying that Angel Garza is my favorite wrestler. Same font, everything.
Bro, you need some pants like that, bro.
Bro, shit. If he has a match at War Games, watch me bust out some breakaway pants for y'all.
Get the
don't like, bro. I oh my god, I'd make fun of your ass real good.
Okay. So
Oh my god.
with that being said, I think that's a really good way to segue into the closing of this podcast. Benji, we didn't get your take on this whole thing real quick.
Yo, I'm just gonna say, like, it's few and far in between when you're genuinely surprised at something. So, like, I'm like ecstatic, over the moon that I didn't see this coming. Like, usually, with wrestling, you start looking into it, so you start knowing everything's gonna happen. I hate that. I want to be surprised. I would want to know what's gonna happen. And I didn't see this coming a mile away. Like, I'm up for it. I want to see where this is gonna go.
Exactly, man. And just like Kyle likes to say, if you can surprise me, I'm happy, and that's all you can ask for in wrestling. That suspension of disbelief. That's what we love in this sport. And
I mean, goddamn, like that was a surprise. Like,
Yeah,
no one expected
100%.
that.
do you
We
think
all
it was,
all
do
we
you think
literally
it was
did
done
was,
to pop ratings, or do you think it was like the plan?
I think they literally that was something that they like pulled out of their ass, like, and it was like, oh, this actually worked. like, like I feel like that was something that they. But then again, you know what? You know what? I think they could have like literally, they could have done that. They could have like planned it out because think about it. Think about the way that they did Sasha.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was
Think
a
about how
pleasant
that.
surprise, too.
Yeah, no. Can I just say one thing? Like, I'm so happy that Bailey turned heel.
Yes, 100%.
Bailey, I think it's something that she needed to do. As much as I do love Hugger's gonna hug Bailey, this new Bailey is just like is for me right now. Like, I don't want to see nice Bailey. I want to see time to fuck some stuff up.
For sure. And there's just a lot of great stuff to like at NXT, and I'm just excited for next week. I know for a fact next week is going to be a really good show, especially with that women's tag match, and I can't wait to see where they go and build on this whole Finn heel turn. But with that being said, any closing thoughts or things you want to say before we wrap this up, guys?
So the closing thoughts is, this show, like, it came on. This show came on like a pair of pants, man. And sometimes you just gotta rip them off and enjoy.
Oh man, I don't think I can top that.
Yo, man, look, what can you say about this show? Like, full of surprises, and I can't wait for next week. And on the other note, hashtag Oscars Bay. Let's get that going.
Oh,
Yes.
All right. I think this is a good way to end the show. Like always, you can find us on Twitter at SmackRockPod. You can find me at SCS Vince. Benji, you can find him at Calavera Comedy. Jay,
you can find myself
Mm-hmm.
at J Thunder 2009 on Instagram and Twitter. And if you guys are cool enough, you guys can do that also on Snapchat. So
Nice.
They gotta earn the Snapchat.
yeah, y'all gotta earn that. So
Is it like a
don't be
Snapchat?
done.
Is it like a premium?
Oh no. Let's
Whoa,
not go there.
whoa,
Let's not go. Whoa.
Okay, that's a whole
You guys,
other
first of all,
Fans
yeah,
only.
That's fans only. No, but anyway, no, like you guys got to be on the. You guys don't just expect me to add you if I don't know you. Like we could talk wrestling, but that's about it.
All right. But with that being said, I think that's a good way to segue into just closing off this podcast. Make sure, like I said, follow us on all social media, subscribe to the YouTube channel, download this episode. Don't just play it. It really helps out the show if you download and get those number ups so it can reach out a bigger audience and you can enjoy more content like this. And keep an eye out because you never know. Me, Benji, and Jay might be throwing out some video game content or just some random basketball content elsewhere. We never know. There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of good things coming to you through the Smack Raw podcast. But with that being said, Benji, send us home, man.
This has been the Smack Raw Pod, y'all. We are out.
Later, guys.